Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 67.
On Now You Know.
All right, so I'm still super excited about the Tesla Semi.
Me too.
It's going to change the world.
Yep.
And a lot of new semis being ordered.
Yeah, like every day, every week.
So 100 has been ordered by Pepsi.
Nice. Yeah, they have 10,000 Class 7 and 8 trucks now, so I know that 100 is only a drop in the bucket for them. But, I mean, that's $2 million in pre-orders for Tesla.
Right. And this is just a test. This is just a beta test to see, hey, is this stuff going to work for us? And then once it does, they're going to be able to buy more. Because let's be real, the investment in buying one of these trucks is more than buying a diesel truck. But the back end, the price is, the cost to run is just significantly
And
lower.
not much more. I think what really excited them was when they talk about convoys, you eliminate 2 drivers out of 3. And that's a huge cost savings right there, if that works out. So think about that. I mean, Mike O'Connell, who's the senior...
So let's just talk about convoys for a second. So what do you mean you're eliminating a driver?
Yeah, so a convoy means that you can have, let's say, up to 3 trucks. 2 of them are following a truck with a driver. The 2 that are following have no driver in them. They're autonomously driven.
And so they can use all of the data that the first truck that is still kind of autonomously driven, it can be an autopilot, but with a human trucker.
Right.
And the other 2 are just sort of following along.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem pretty simple. It's
Saves
a lot easier.
energy because you're drafting,
Right.
and it saves money because there's no drivers. It's just safer. I mean, if there is an accident, there's 2 less drivers to get into an accident.
That's true.
They can't fall asleep because they're just computers. So, yeah, you want to know why they're excited. That's why they're excited.
Right.
And not only to mention this is the price of electricity. 7 cents a kilowatt hour was guaranteed by Elon. So they have a lot to be excited about.
Absolutely.
Mike O'Connell, who's the senior director of North American supply chain for PepsiCo, he said these Tesla semis are a key part of its plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions across its supply chain by a total of at least 20% by 2030.
Yep. So I've heard a lot of backlash, I guess, against this, and people just saying, oh, they're just trying to sound more green. But I think that...
Oh, I don't think they care about green like the environment. I think they care about green like money.
Like money.
Yeah.
Money! Right. I think
That's all they care about.
That is interesting, but it gets played a lot as they're just trying to look environmental.
Right.
For those hippies.
And good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's a
also
win-win.
that is a win-win.
We like it when you do that, and we like it that you're saving money. And so, yeah, about 285 trucks have been pre-ordered so far, or about $5 million in pre-orders for Tesla.
That's
keep
great.
ordering those trucks.
Yeah. So speaking of electric trucks, Ontario has just set their target for cutting greenhouse gas pollution to 15% below 1990 levels by 2020, 37% by 2030, and 80% by 2050.
Ooh.
So one of the ways that they're trying to achieve this is a $12 million, this is Canadian dollar, rebate program. So for commercial businesses that are buying electric trucks, they can get up to a $75,000 rebate.
Let's move to Canada.
Yeah, $75,000, Canadian dollars.
Wow, I mean, that's like half the cost of the truck.
Right. So this
Why are they
brings-
doing this?
This is to incentivize electric trucks. Now, there's another point why they might be doing this. I think it is to entice BYD, the Chinese electric truck manufacturer, to come to Ontario, which is fantastic, and I'm all for it. That sounds awesome.
What does BYD stand for again? Is it Beyond Your Dreams?
Bring your dreams, beyond your dreams.
Bring your dog?
I'm not going to make fun of that name. I think that making electric trucks, I don't care who's doing it.
Right.
If Mercedes-Benz is making electric trucks,
No, I'm
more
all.
power to
I think
them.
it's great.
And so I think that this is a great rebate program.
Yeah.
Way to go, Ontario.
I think more provinces and states and countries should do it. Let's do it, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, so what is this, Jesse? This is an app from Ford called Chariot?
So this was a startup, basically. Started in San Francisco, of all places. And the way it works is it's sort of crowdfunding public transportation.
Okay.
So instead of you, walking out, ordering an Uber, having it pick you up, this is more long-term, bigger scale transportation.
Like small buses?
Yeah, so the way that this has worked is people would vote on different routes. So people would plan the routes. This is all open sourced. It's a very hot topic. Open source things, very
So what do you mean
exciting.
plan the route? So I say I want to go from my house to the library, and so it starts to figure out if anyone else is going that same way?
Kind of. You type in your house address, and then you type in your work address, and then it can start to find, oh, here's a bunch of people who live in this area, and they all seem to work over there. Let's make a route in that direction.
And so it may not bring me exactly where I want to go, but it might bring me really close.
Well, it can drop you off at certain points.
Okay.
So it's the way that it sounds. And so the way that it works is that everyone sort of pitches in. They say, okay, here's my credit card number, and I'm going to be using this route very frequently. And they hope to get the cost of transportation down to about $4 to $6
Oh, so
a
it's
ride.
a subscription, basically. You say, I'll pay like X amount for so many rides. And
Right, and so they've made all of these different routes, and it's sort of like a bus route in a way, except that instead of the city, hiring planners and stuff like that, it's all done.
And what kind of buses do you take?
So right now they use Ford Transits. I think that there will always be Ford cars. Ford, of course, says that they're going to be electrifying their fleet. So probably in the future there'll be hybrid Ford Transits. So, I mean, it's not...
So right now it's in San Francisco, and then I heard in August it opened up in New York. So
Right.
those are the two markets right now. If you live in those, I would be interested in seeing in the comments below if you could comment if you've ever taken Chariot.
Right. And I think that this is, it's not very exciting from a sustainable standpoint, at least because they're using gas vans. I think that that's lame. But I think in the future, this is sort of a different, we're used to the taxi model, we're used to the public transportation model. This is somewhere in between. It's sort of like
Uber meets public transportation.
Uber meets public transportation in a way.
So Tesla has changed their Supercharger policy.
So don't get freaked out by this.
Yeah, it's probably not going to affect most of you
Right.
unless you run basically a commercial like taxi service that charges at superchargers. We're talking companies like Tesloop out in Las Vegas that go Las Vegas to LA. So basically they changed their policy because there were negative impacts of allowing commercial operators to sit at superchargers and charge their whole fleet. And so basically Tesla said going forward, starting December 15th, you can't do that anymore with new vehicles. So if you already had a vehicle doing that, I guess you're fine. You're kind of grandfathered in.
Interesting.
But going forward, don't think that you're going to start some new company with new cars and do that.
Right. So basically this affects people who use their Tesla as a taxi. So this includes ride sourcing or ride sharing, Uber, Lyft, or similar services.
And I do want to point out that using a Tesla as an Uber or a Lyft would be a great idea, but it just means that you won't be able to get free supercharging on top of it. You'll still get cheaper electricity than you would gas, but you can't get free.
And this means that they don't want them at the superchargers.
Right.
Now, I think in the future, we're actually going to start to see commercial superchargers.
They actually built one already. Yeah, so if you contact Tesla, they'll probably work with you to build one at your place of business.
Right, and so this could make sense. So like, say you run a ride-sharing service using a Tesla, and then there's also like a delivery company down the street that uses Teslas or something like that, where they deliver smaller packages or something like that. It might make sense to say, hey, let's pick a location, let's go in on this together, let's build a supercharger. Because I think that makes more sense. These supercharger stations that we see around the country and around the world are not meant for, commercial stuff. So I think that makes sense. It keeps the superchargers open for people who are making long distance trips.
All right, it's time for Model 3 news.
Here we go.
We should just go hop out into the Model 3. Let's push that special button.
Okay, here
now,
we go.
Does it have any kind of
disguised as a pen this week?
Now does it have a
That cold out
let's
there.
just do the news down here.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to know, are things speeding up at the factory? Are they pumping out more Model 3s? Well, we have a little glimpse that maybe things are going better than we had hoped. There's a Taiwanese auto component maker, Hoda Industrial Manufacturing Company, and they had previously said they were cutting production of axles and gears from 5,000 a week down to 3,000 a week. But now Chairman Shen Guorong has told the Taiwanese media that they now have to mobilize the whole company and work overtime in order to ship out the parts that they need, and they're going to use airplanes instead of boats to get them over to the U.S. in time.
Right, so that means that things are happening in a hurry.
Yes, like a phone call must have gotten made, and it said, quick, get us more parts.
So this is interesting. I think that I don't want to over speculate here, but it could mean that some bottlenecks are being, fixed.
Yeah.
In some way.
It's definitely good news.
Right, because I mean, the slowed down production for a while certainly of this company would point to the slowed down production of the Model 3s, but obviously the increase would point to there being more Model 3s being produced, which is very exciting.
This next story about Tesla is a Model 3 story because it involves someone who has stage 4 terminal cancer, and his kind of bucket list wish before he died was to ride in a Model 3. So big shout out to Bonnie Norman and to Tesla for making this gentleman's wishes come true. She reached out and got him a Model 3 to drive in, which is fantastic of her. And then through her connections and pulling some strings, she got him a factory tour with John McNeil, who's Tesla's president of sales and service. And they moved his name up the list and got him his Model 3 right away. He got his bucket list wish, and I'm just so happy. I mean, all of us, I know we're on the waiting list, but I'm sure we're all glad that he got moved up to the front so that he could experience this, and what a cool wish to have. And it just kind of brings tears to my eyes that Tesla jumped into action, the Tesla community jumped into action.
Right.
So kudos to Bonnie and to Tesla. Thank you so much. So what is this I hear about a shakeup at Toyota?
Yeah, so there's a big shakeup going on at Toyota. Basically, management is being completely shifted around, all of the different executive positions.
Yeah, I heard some are being fired.
So 17 executives are being dismissed.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot. I mean, I don't know how many they have altogether, but that sounds like a lot.
Right. And they're downsizing the number of divisions that they have.
Oh.
So I think this all sort of comes...
Wait, so yeah, they're scrapping 7 divisions, lowering the total to 242.
Right.
So like divisions are things like autonomous driving division and luxury car division, things like that.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't quite keep up to date on everything that goes on at Toyota. I only do that for Tesla.
Why are they doing the shakeup?
So CEO Toyota said, surrounded by changes of unprecedented speed and scale, Toyota is aware that it faces a now or never situation in which not a moment can be spared.
Wow. So have they realized that they were too slow to the electric game? Is that what this is?
I think that it's more than just the electric game. I think that it is about autonomy because, I mean, both electric and autonomy are two things that are happening fast right now. I think that these are things that basically have just sort of been pushed down the road for many, many years. And they've just slowly been approaching this waterfall. And now they're actually starting to hear it. And it's been, it's only been companies like Tesla that have been pushing vehicles that have, awakened this understanding that in a very short amount of time, the automotive industry is going to look completely different.
I've heard, so Toyota is one of the largest, it keeps going back and forth between being the largest and not the largest, but it's basically one of the largest auto manufacturers in the world.
Right.
And what I've heard is that Toyota has a very weird culture where it's hard for people in mid-level management or upper level to say no to people and say like, hey, we got to change, guys,
right.
because they just are kind of taught to go along with the flow.
Right.
So this shakeup could mean that they finally are getting it, that they can't keep doing business the way they're doing it. If they don't pivot fast, they're going to probably go out of business.
Right, and this is something that's happening throughout the entire automotive industry.
All right, so what is this, Jesse? This looks like we've seen before. It's a relaunch of a used Falcon 9. So what's the big deal?
So this is not just any ordinary Falcon 9, although it's funny that we can say that now.
It's just a reused one.
Both the first stage and the capsule are being reused in this launch.
What's the capsule?
The capsule is the Dragon capsule, so that is what sits at the top of the rocket.
Oh.
So what's at the bottom and at the very top of the rocket
have been in space before?
Yes, and are being launched again. This is the first time this has ever happened.
And so it's going to resupply the International Space Station with more supplies.
Yes. By the way, this has already happened.
Oh, right. In fact, the footage we're seeing here is really cool footage because we get to see this capsule being grabbed and docked to...
Birthed. It's birthed when it's grabbed and brought in. It's docked when it docks itself.
Oh, and I hear that very soon in the not-too-distant future, it's going to dock itself, right? We're no longer going to need to...
I mean, it's not terribly difficult to dock.
Okay, but I mean,
it's, okay, it is rocket science.
Yes, this is rocket science.
This is rocket science, and I think that the important thing is that we've all sort of gotten complacent about SpaceX launching and reusing the rockets that we're now just like, oh, there's another SpaceX launch? Oh, that's cool. whereas before it was like you'd want to watch it. And I think that there's a reason for this.
Why?
It's because SpaceX's rockets are not blowing up enough. I think that people get excited when unexpected things happen.
Well, I think we might be able to help that.
Yes, so there is good news on the horizon. The Falcon Heavy, which has been completely untested, I mean, outside of probably simulations, dozens of, I don't even want to know how much work has gone into it, but the Falcon Heavy is expected to blow up on the launch pad.
Well, I don't know about expected, but it has a high probability.
Higher probability. Elon thinks that it'll blow up, so I think that that is really going to help draw the public attention back to these launches, because apparently people are not impressed by rockets landing on barges.
People like explosions.
I guess they like explosions, and that sort of brings people's eye to
I'm excited to see it work. I think I hope it works. Hey, so this is really cool. We've been talking about the Boring Company, and they're not boring at all here. Well, they are boring. I mean,
literally, they're literally boring under the ground.
12.4-mile tunnel in Maryland is now being started. This is really exciting because they actually have a location here. So this is going to start at the north of Maryland 175, and it's going to dig within a quarter mile of the intersection of West Pratt and South Paca, which is about a block from Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Wow. Very cool.
I mean, you'll be able to take the Boring Company's sled to the game.
Right. And I don't think we have a good name for what this sled is going to be called.
Yeah, let's
down in the comments, please put. So first, start off your little comment by saying Boring Company sled name, and then whatever you want to call it, whether it's the Hyper Sled or the that's really good. That was right off the top of the
Hyper
head.
Sled.
Never mind.
Trademark.
I already got the best one. So just forget it.
No, don't forget it. You guys are going to come up with better ones.
Try to come up with a better one than that.
All right, it's time for the lightning round.
All right, here we go.
Hey, I can't sing the Star Wars song because I'll be sued, but what is this? Zoe here.
So this is a Star Wars themed Renault Zoe. It's only being sold in France. I don't know why. And
what makes it Star Wars themed?
There's a couple small accents on the front and on the roof, and a little bit on some of the interior, and I think there's a purple hue of some of the other things. I didn't know that Star Wars was associated with purple.
Well,
but anyway, there you go. I mean,
all right, marketing.
I could have done with more Star Wars on my electric car.
Well, maybe when Tesla does a Star Wars edition.
Yeah, they'll do it right.
Solar trains in Australia. So these aren't really trains, I should say. These are more like what we'd call trolleys, right?
Sure.
But MP Daniel Andrews posted on December 12th in his Facebook, "This isn't a pipe dream. It's happening right now. We're starting construction on the 2 solar farms that will power every single one of Melbourne's 400 trams. Clean energy, jobs for regional Victoria." Please share videos and pictures with us when you ride on these solar-powered trains soon.
Absolutely.
So, I know it'll take a while to get it all going, but when it does, please share those with us. I can't wait for some of the first passengers to ride on solar trams. So what is this press release from the Etihad Energy Services Company, Jesse?
So they are talking about putting solar panels on top of drinking water reservoirs.
Why?
One, generate power.
Okay.
Everyone knows this. You put solar power, you get solar power. That's kind of how it works.
Good.
The other thing is it will prevent evaporation of this water.
Oh, right, because these are in really hot, sunny places where the water evaporates.
Right, so I mean, the sun is beating down. You're either going to evaporate the water or take that energy, turn it into electricity, and this is a win-win because you're not losing as much water to evaporation, and you're getting solar power. So
That's really cool.
Pretty good application.
And I just read that Egypt is hoping to interconnect 2,650 megawatts of PV, photovoltaics, by 2020. Morocco is aiming for 600 megawatts, and Jordan is aiming for 540 megawatts. So
that's fantastic.
These are a lot of cool, a lot of hot places.
Yeah.
So this next-gen charging kit from Tesla, what's so exciting about it?
It is 40% cheaper than the older style kit. So it is now $300.
Well, that's a big price drop.
Yeah.
And it still has a 20-foot cable, a NEMA 1450 adapter, and the NEMA 515 adapter.
You can plug it into basically most outlets, which is great.
This new adapter, I will point out though, is the new connector is limited to a max output of 32 amps versus 40 amps for the last generation connector. So check out this map, Jesse.
Yeah.
This is the United States, and it shows 50 states, and as of 2016, how many people per 1,000 were driving electric cars?
Wow.
So let's take Massachusetts, our home state, as kind of a reference point. 1.29 per 1,000 people we're driving electric cars. Now look over on the West Coast.
Right, California.
All green.
Yeah, California 6.65, Washington, Oregon. Wow, that's fantastic.
But now we look at like Mississippi,
Louisiana, West Virginia, Kentucky, Arkansas. It's funny though, because you have that whole area, but then you have Georgia right in the middle of it.
Why is Georgia like a green state there? It's one of the top
EV
6.
incentives.
Oh.
They had an EV incentive. I mean, I remember talking with Kim on Like Tesla about this. They had a really good EV incentive program. And so that is why they chose to get, I think they got a Nissan Leaf and they got a Model X.
That's really powerful. That shows you how if your state has an incentive or your country, you're going to incentivize people to drive electric.
Right. And I think that this makes sense to do because it is something that is worthwhile.
It's time for our video contributor story of the week, and we're so lucky to have Patrick, who's reporting about a story in Stockholm, Sweden, about an electric taxi company. Take it away, Patrick.
If you're coming to Stockholm, the chances that you can go in an electric taxi is now a little bit higher. Taxi Stockholm have the goal of not running any fossil fuel vehicles in 2025. And they tried out the electric cars for several years, starting with a Nissan Leaf. But the short range of the Leaf made it very inconvenient to run as a taxi. Later they bought Teslas and have now 12 Teslas in service. And just during the last month they added 30 Renault Zoe long range to the fleet. A fleet containing of approximately 1,600 vehicles.
But you can choose an electric vehicle, and then that's a great incentive for us to invest in more electric vehicles.
Is it more expensive to go by electric taxi?
No, it's the same price.
Electric cars needs charging. Is that a problem for your taxi business?
It could be. Depends on how well you plan these things, and also how many places you have to choose where you can charge the cars. It's very important for us that the infrastructure for charging is well built.
The Renault Zoe is a very compact car. Can this really work as a taxi?
We'll see. Also, we know that most trips is with less than 4 people and not very much luggage, so it might work for the city taxi concept. But we have to try this out. You book an electric car, and you can book the Zoes. You can wish for a Zoe, and you will get informed either in the app or in our switchboard that you can go maximum 3 people and doesn't take much luggage, so you will get that information.
Our taxi driver Genghis got his new electric Zoe taxi today, and he has never driven an electric car before.
And I like it. It's amazing.
The electric car gives the drivers a better working environment, more quiet atmosphere, less vibration, and the car delivers heat faster into the compartment.
Well, that's really...
Yeah, he's good at what he does.
That's very good.
Yeah, he's like a professional.
Yeah.
We got to be careful. He might just take over. But you guys should go check out Patrick's YouTube channel. We'll put the link down below. He has an awesome YouTube channel that covers a lot of stuff about the Nissan Leaf. He knows a lot about electric cars. All right, it's time to do our Patreon bonus story of the week. So if you are interested, hop on over to Patreon for as little as $1 a month. If you're not already supporting us, you can watch our Patreon bonus stories. We've got 2 stories this week, Jesse.
Yes.
So let's go do it. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back from our Patreon bonus story. That was fun. And now I want to give a shout out to all of our awesome Patreons who support us by giving $5 or more a month. And so I'd like to give a shout out to Hershey Sven,
Renee Caldera,
Joachim Holgram,
Khalid Alamud,
Corey Grimm,
Jason Smith,
Ken Malinkowitz,
and Nostra 2.
Thank you so much, guys. All right, it's time for Elon's tweet of the week, and a thank you again to Jeffrey. He helped us out here because Elon is always busy with tweets, and well,
Jeffrey stays on top of this.
He does.
Here is the tweet of the week.
Well, it's multiple tweets, actually.
Oh, here we go.
This is in reference to the Boring Company. Every 5,000th buyer of our boringly boring hat will get a free hat signed by the delivery guy.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal. Here's another tweet. After 50,000 hats, we will start selling the Boring Company flamethrower I know it's a little off-brand, but kids love it. I'm excited. I would buy another hat just to get us a little bit closer to that. And then I would absolutely buy the Boring Company flamethrower.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's going to be a real thing. I think you can buy a flamethrower in most states.
Okay.
I think that's
How big are we talking here? Are we talking like a little mini one? Like I've seen ones that go in your wrists, like for magicians, like, you know.
No. I mean, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it right. So it's going to be a fully flung flamethrower, I think.
But get this, if you were interested in driving the Boring Machine, he said 10 hat aficionados in appreciation for their exquisite taste in millinery will be picked at random to tour the LA tunnel and drive the Boring Machine. So go get a hat and you get a chance of riding on the Boring Machine, which we are going to be doing, by the way.
And by the way, right now they're at 42,000 hats, which means that they're only 8,000 hats away from the Boring Company flamethrower.
Oh my gosh. If they start offering the Boring Company flamethrower...
be ready for a Boring Company flamethrower unboxing video.
Oh my gosh. Is that legal in Massachusetts?
Who cares? We'll go to New Hampshire. I mean, everything's legal in New Hampshire. Live free or die.
All right, it's time for Community Mail Time. I want to thank K-Man for the photo and the video of the charging port on the semi-truck that we showed last week. Thank you so much, because K-Man was smart enough during that event to keep his cool and actually pay attention. We were running around like idiots. He was focused, and that is very smart. So thank you, K-Man. Appreciate that. It's time for our viewer comments of the week. And is that a droid?
No, that's not the droid you're looking for.
Huh. What was that?
What? You didn't watch it?
It wasn't the droid I was looking for.
Let's get to this comment here. So,
yeah. So basically, we get this a lot for the past few weeks. We would love to be able to tell you more. We can't say anything at this time. Sorry. We will tell you as soon as we can. All right. It's time for Supercharger reviews, and I just love getting them. I'm going to intersperse them this week with the Superchargers because, lucky for us, 2 of the new Superchargers going online, we have videos of.
Wow, that's
what
so
awesome
fun.
Viewers.
Cool.
Yes, so here we go. What's permitted this week, Jesse?
So permitted this week in Boulder, Colorado.
And Old Lyme, Connecticut. Construction going on in
Guatemala, Spain.
Gotemba, Japan.
Győr, Hungary.
Not really. San Felipe, California.
Sormas, Hungary.
Sheffield, Ohio.
Ulrichshamn, Sweden.
And New Rochelle, New York. Open this week, number 356 in Europe is the 12 stall in Mellbystrand, Sweden.
Number 12 in South Korea is the 14 stall in Segawepo, South Korea.
The 8 stall in Laredo, Texas.
Number 178 in China, the 6 stall in Meisu, Xuanji Center, China.
The 6 stall in Ningde, Jaipu Dijing Hotel, China.
The 6 stall in Yingkou, Beiyuquan, Wanlong Plaza, China.
The 6 stall in Jinyang Wanjiahui, China.
And the 8 stall in, I'm just going to mispronounce this since we probably mispronounced one of the other ones, Leominster, Massachusetts.
Yeah, can you believe it's in Leominster?
It's just down the road.
A few towns away.
I know.
We should go cover that.
Yeah.
Number 18 in Australia is the 6 stall in Coffs Harbour, New South Wales.
The 12 stall in Kriegstetten, Switzerland. And we have a video from our friend Patrick. So let's
take it away.
Check it away.
Hi Zach, hi Jesse. This is Patrick from Switzerland. I'm introducing the brand new Supercharger here in Kriegstetten. It is even so new, it's not even on the navigation system yet. The infrastructure around here is quite good. There's a restaurant just a few steps from here and another a bit further above. So greetings from Switzerland. This is the brand new Supercharger in Kriegstetten.
Awesome. I mean, it just came online and here he is showing it to us.
That's exciting.
You guys rock.
Yeah. This is what I had envisioned when we first started doing this, was that like, oh, it'll be as soon as the Superchargers come out. And then like, now it's starting to happen. It's amazing.
Wow. The 12 stall in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Number 182 in China, the 6 stall in Yichang, Taingxi, Long Hotel, China.
The 8 stall in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
The 12 stall in Horst, Netherlands.
the 20 stall in Bregenz, Austria,
the 8 stall in Wilcox, Arizona,
the 6 stall in Fluelen, Switzerland,
the 10 stall in West Melbourne, Florida. It's Florida, this is not Australia.
Right, this is Florida.
And we have video from our friend Joshua.
Take it away, Joshua.
It's December 3rd, 2017, and the Space Coast EV drivers are here in West Melbourne, looking forward to the opening of the new Tesla Supercharger, which is not quite open yet, but will be opening very shortly. This is a terrific location with lots of shopping, a movie theater very nearby, lots of restaurants, lots of great stuff to do while your car's being charged. And we are all very much looking forward to this new addition to our community. Behind us, you can see the Five Guys, Bake Shop, Crafty Crab, the Nails and Spa. We've got a Pizza Shop, a Dollar Tree, Petco, Marshall's, H.H. Gregg, a Shoe Carnival. We've got Kohl's, and frankly, there's a lot more.
See, again, another
Awesome.
new, this is great. The 10 stall in Aire du Poulet de Bresse, France.
And number 362 in Europe, the 20 stall in Berkak, Norway.
And number 452 in the US, number 1094 in the world is the 8 stall in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hey, Zach and Jesse.
What's up, guys? So my name is Jeff, and this is my niece.
My name is Faith.
So we are here at the South Bay Urban Superchargers for Tesla, and it is all the way up into the 6th floor of the new parking garage structure that they just built. But they're pretty nice. There's a lot of amenities around here. This is the South Bay Center. It's pretty much an outdoor mall. There's like all kind of like shops and restaurants you can go to. These are the superchargers. Those are the urban superchargers. There's about 10 stalls of those. As you can see, it is empty. There's nothing here. No cars here yet. I don't think anybody knows about them yet, but they are really nice. Really nice. There you go. This is it right here. And of course, you have a Chevy Bolt over here charging, which is really nice.
But of course, Tesla is better, so.
Yeah, Tesla's better.
Way better.
Hi, Zach and Jesse, and all the viewers. I'm here in Wickenburg, Arizona, at I believe it's 8 stall, 1, 2, 3, actually a 6 stall supercharger. And there's a lot of shops around. There's a Bash's grocery store, pharmacy, all kinds of little shops. Anything artsy, crafty, eating. It's a little Western village. I highly recommend it. It's the best supercharging spot I've found in my very limited ownership of the Model S, which I got using your referral code. Thank you very much. See ya.
So for those of you who have missed out on the chance to use our referral code to ride in the next generation Roadster, despair not, because
you did not miss out.
We did not miss out. There is going to be another Roadster going on in Europe that we are going to have the opportunity to drive and visit people.
So this is actually simpler than you think. No matter where you live,
Right.
Europe or the US, we can visit you. Just use our referral code, which is down below, and we will come visit you. So doesn't matter where you live, we'll figure that out.
Yes.
You just
so
use
we
the
have a
referral.
new referral code.
Yep.
If we get that up to a certain level, we should have. We should be able to come visit you, and also people in Europe. So you are helping people in Europe whether you live there or not.
Right.
Every week we like to mention a video that you probably maybe have not seen. We are doing the 12 days of Model 3.
It's quite
so
fun.
every day or so we are releasing new interesting content about the Model 3, which you might be interested in. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, and a horrible Christmas song to go along with it.
Well, you know, I think that's subjective.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Now you know.